After I get done having fun talking, I gotta remember, I got work to do. First thing first, my name's Kenneth Byrd. My company is ILEG Technology Screens. We gotta make a cardboard case. I need it for my projector. I need to move my screen back to the father. So I can expand the size of my see-through projection screen, which I must be doing another one pretty soon. So let me get the glue gun and everything started and get that to work. Got the glue. Where's Taco? Oh, over there. I'll get this started. Now, I got plenty of time to do this screen. Technology's right over there. I gotta get this done first. Yeah. Ain't nobody buying that stuff anyway, so who cares? So anyway, I'll get around to when I get done this project. Yeah, for those of you who know, we're going to be taking this refusal mess that I got under my desk and basically doing a demonstration on our 15%er. But right now, I'm going to get this done first because after I get done having my fun, I got to done talking. I got to get work done. So I'm going to get this one finished, completed, move my screen back, so I'm going to start working on my see-through projection screen. That's what I'm doing next. And I got to take all those videos I just did, and I got to upload this to my website, and I got to run this through all the other social form sites. I got stuff to do. I deleted the other video because, again, wasting time. Anything that causes me to waste time, I got to get rid of it. Got to do. Get this thing built. I got to pull this thing back here so I can expand my screen. And I got to go order my plexiglass so I can get that built, get that done, get that coded, get that all the videos done, demonstrations, back on the form sites, back on the website, and boom, be done. I got work to do, people. At the end of the day, I still got to work. It's nice to have fun and crush people's stuff at the end of the day, but I still got work to do. Yep. I forgot what was that. That's in the supermarket today, and that's all these giant mushrooms for Mario Brothers. And it's funny because I was just talking about building an entire scene, the pipe system and everything, and I've been dying to do one of those for the longest time. Definitely build it under my bookcase. So this video, if you're watching, watch. If you don't, it's up to you. Either way, don't care. You know why? Because I got to get this done. I got work to do. That's one of the things about YouTube. We don't make money off YouTube. We don't make any money off YouTube. Not a dime. We don't make any money off YouTube at all. Period. So I come on here and do my demonstrations. And the reason why we do our YouTubes on video is because, on YouTube because the link, whatever, the Wix player works with those videos. Now, like I said, you come in and watch it, you learn something, it's up to you. But I'm not in here to beg you to watch. I'm not in here to ask you to like and subscribe because we only use YouTube for advertising, and it's fantastic for advertising. I advise people to use in the business. YouTube is fantastic for that. Now, if you're on YouTube to make content, to make money, that's a different story. Yeah, you're going to be asking people to like and subscribe. That's what you're going to need. But for us, it's advertising for us. If you want to watch it, you watch it. You don't, you don't. At the end of the day, I got a whole playground out here to play in that our technology has not been introduced to. I'm not planning to make a lot of money out here. So I have to make sure I have everything covered. I want to make sure I have technology to cover everything you can possibly think of. And these monitors actually are big money. Some see-through monitors, very expensive. I checked out how much they cost. They're not cheap. So the stand we're making will allow me to bring everything back to my desktop. I'm going to pick a long screen right across here and it's absolutely gorgeous. Get that done. Go ahead and jump. And one thing I love the most, I love it when we get people coming to our channel. We get a little bit of everything, but mostly we get these people that are naysayers, we call them, because they're upset with my product and they don't like it. And we design new stuff. It burns them up. It does. We like doing that. That's probably like making new stuff, but I know basic is going to burn you up. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's the glue gun? Go. Because everything must be working is flawless. Flawless, baby. Flawless. I do like having the most powerful screen on the market. Oh man, it feels great. It feels great to go out there playing that sunlight, man. I remember sitting there back there thinking one day that, man, one day we're going to have a screen that can play in sunlight. One day. And we got it now. We have a screen that can dance in the sunlight. And at 50 lumens, I'm the ball over that. 50 lumen read outside. Man. So my thing is, I'm going to, after our paperwork comes back saying all our stuff is protected by the government, I'm going to hand out these sample sheets to all these big companies. They're going to have to pay me to use that technology. Yeah, just like OLED did. OLED did the same thing. LG was the only one that had that technology first. And then they made everybody pay to use their own technology. That's how we're going to do it at the end of the day. Now, whether they choose to charge more or less, I don't know how that's going to work at the end of the day. But I know for a fact for us, I have to come down to the prices. They don't have a choice. And the reason why is because why would someone buy from them if it's going to cost $4,000 and over here we have much less? And they can't tell us what to do at the end of the day because we're the ones who invented it. Yeah, see, but y'all can't do that because companies won't buy your stuff to improve your technology because you don't have stuff like that. Because, again, the new technology is going outside of play. Being outside, that's the ultimate ambient rejection. Once you conquer the sun, that's it. There's nothing higher than the sun. So that's it. You have the ultimate screen killer. Well, actually, ambient light killer. But you can conquer sunlight. All right, so we're going to do a fast cardboard. For those of you that are into this stuff, building a cardboard in the day, this is a great way to build furniture. If you basically don't want to spend the money for furniture. I know how we had some ignorant people who sat there and said, no, there's a guy who's a millionaire. He makes more money than you, way more money than you. And for the naysayer who made that comment, he makes way more money than you. And he came up with an idea on making a whatchamacallit, it was a bed. I'm buying one of those too. I'm curious. He made a bed out of cardboard. Interesting idea. It's a honeycomb system. That's what he built. And did you know that? Millionaire. So for the naysayer who said that who's dumb enough, he has more money than you. So apparently he was smart enough to do something with the elements that we have that are pretty cheap. So let me see how we want to do this. For some reason, let me make sure I got this right. Wait, this is the top and the bottom? This is the bottom. This is the top. I have to get this IKEA thing mixed up. This IKEA. We're doing the IKEA now. Yeah. It's way more money than you. 7 figures. This guy makes 7 figures off this. I thought that was quite impressive. You know how easy that thing to move is, man? At the end of the day, I moved a bed, a whole bed. A couple of times I moved an entire bed. Oh my goodness, man. That whole mattress thing alone is a freaking nightmare by itself. And you can just easily just fold this thing up and just take with you. Heck yeah. Heck the freak yeah. These are wider. These are wider than these. Wait. These are the thin boxes? The thin boxes up top. Oh, wait, so the thin boxes were actually a little wider. Right. They're a little wider. No, we can just tuck it from there. The thin boxes are wider. Man, if I didn't have to deal with one minute when I spent all this money for expensive furniture, I would have built all my furniture out of cardboard, which I just did. My place has all cardboard furniture. And it's made with that high professional thick cardboard, which again, you won't be cutting with that with a pair of scissors. You definitely have to take a saw to it. But mine is flame resistant and water resistant. I got a cyberpunk couch. Built-in peekable mirrors, built-in PC. Of course, I put myself in. LED lights, the whole 9 yards, everything. Memory foam surface, thicker than your couch. The cloud sofa. I built a cloud sofa. And charged me that much money, like $33,000. No, it's $4,000 for that sofa. I was like, oh, heck no. Spend money for that. I can do it myself. Yeah. Wait. Are we putting this in the middle? This is going to be at the bottom. This is the shelf. I don't want it there. I want the middle. Right here. We want to put a shelf in here. And at the bottom, something in there. Okay. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay. Here. Where's the okay. I got my coffee table, all made out of cardboard. Everything. Watching this guy on his channel, he'll be showing you how to curve it, how to make it curve, all that. Uses that wood trim to curve it out. Oh man, it's beautiful furniture. You would think it was all basically made out of wood. You put the support that way, so they flat. So you're going to have to have the supports the other way. So this is the front, and this is the back. You don't need the support in the middle. Support is left in the middle. Put some bridge here and here. And then we're going to need the support for this one. I have to follow people do different stuff. No one has time to jam your mind up with negativity nonsense. I'm going to do cloud systems here and cloud systems here. 2 sets of upper cloud systems for that. Oh yeah, that looks nice. This is the back piece, so this is going to be the bridge here and here. It's kind of basically the bridge there. So the bridge in here. There's all these people that are showing you all these different ways on how you can build cardboard. But you can't use this stuff. This stuff is only temporary, that's all it is. It's temporary. You know, college kids, stuff like that kind of stuff. If you really want to get into hardcore versions of it, that's where you got to use that congregated cardboard. Good stuff. 3-ply, And then the 3-ply, you double it up, make it 6-ply. The guy was doing a tutorial showing you how to curve your tables, how to make them rounded, how to put different designs in it. Man, he's got some beautiful work over there. He makes a lot of money selling that architect cardboard furniture. Some stars have bought that stuff. He makes a lot of money. Yep. That's his profession. It's cardboard furniture. People that are closed-minded, they stay poor. They don't get the opportunity to be successful and be rich. They don't have that opportunity. They stay poor. They're the worst enemies at the end of the day. They block their own blessings. They block everything. They stay poor. Oh, I forgot we have to do it before it just goes out little filter out. And if you got somebody that shares your same ideas at the end of the day, then you're good. I unfortunately did not. I sat there and spent all that money for that furniture and never really used it. I'd rather make it by hand. I'd rather use my own hands to make my own stuff, not somebody else's stuff. So, my setup, I got my own cardboard desk, customized, made the way I want it. I got my own PCs. I all built out of cardboard. I designed my own screens. The less I got to depend on somebody else, the better my life becomes. More than that. You understand that the guy who invented the cardboard bed, very smart guy, because they don't make beds the way they used to make them anymore. Back then, you would get a mattress with a spring system in them. They don't have springs in mattresses anymore. They have memory foam systems now. Notice that? People from my era know that the mattresses back then came with springs. Where's my glue gun? I just had it. Where'd you go? It's just fighting me right here. This is not want to play with me. It's fighting me. The other side went. This one decides wants to fight me a little bit. No problem. We're going down. We're going to go down. You like it or not, you're going down. We're going down. We're going to go. Stop in progress. Not getting in the way of my progress. Yeah, they were springs. They were spring mattresses. Nowadays, mattresses don't even have springs anymore. They have you don't even technically you get a box spring, and then you get the box spring. It's pretty much, there's no springs in the box spring at all. I don't even know why you can call it a box spring anymore. Not even a memory. It's all memory foam. All of it's all memory foam. They don't do box springs anymore. So we had a now doorway getting it up there. So they had a box spring that cuts in half now. You get them in halves now. Cut it in half. Do it that way. But now it's all memory. So same thing about your sofas. Your sofas are all memory foam, all of them. So now you can go over to Amazon and you can buy a huge piece of memory foam. The thicker you get, the more expensive it is, but it's not that expensive. It's less than basically buying a $6,000 cloud sofa. You can get about that thick. Mine's about that thick. You can set weights. I can set these weights on my sofa, and it doesn't even push all the way down. I was able to design my setup with my phone chargers in them, speaker system in it, the whole 9 yards, and charged me $10,000 for a speaker system and a cloud. So I'm like, oh heck no! And the ottoman was $4,000. I was like, oh heck no, because the ottoman was huge. The ottoman was about the size of the floor in here, but this whole section, that's how big the ottoman was. They were charging me $4,000 for that. Like, now we'll do it ourselves, and that's what I did. I followed that guy's channel, I learned from him, and I built it myself. Saved a lot of money. He makes all this luxury furniture. You know, people are into that cardboard furniture, environmentalists and all that stuff. They love that stuff. And it's a fantastic idea. It's safe for the environment. It's fantastic for the planet. And they make a lot of money off of it. And the resources are cheap. You know how to design it the way you want to, you can make a ton of money off of it. Now, would that be a field I get into? Yes, sir. Because we're working on a cardboard projection screen that's weatherproof. Using our own solution to do it. I'm not going to buy somebody's solution. I'll make my own. Definitely going to be getting into all that. And cardboard furniture, definitely going to be doing that too more often. All right. Just add support to our furniture. I sat up there and spent $75 for that black piece of metal furniture that I had in here. $75 for a couple of sheets of thin metal. And then turn around and built this whole thing. Screens all involved in it. Built me another section to it right here. I can put my cloud system any way I want to design, any way I want. So add support here and here, add support here and there. And then you take some of that plastic board that we use basically for our screens and you line the top with it. I'm going to line my sides here with it, line my sides here, and my top here. That's what I'm going to line with it. I can't even do the top. It's nice and sturdy. I love my cardboard desk, man. That cardboard desk was freaking amazing. I miss my cardboard desk. When I did the first one, I did. And when I got the home front, it's better. Now, if I had some oil painting art skills like some people have at the end of the day, man, I'd blast this thing all white and just dial this thing up, man, with some beautiful, beautiful oil paint designs on it. So these nice little ledges we have in here, that's for lead light applications. That's why we left them in here. So that way my LED lights will have somewhere to push off in the back and the front if I want to do it that way. Reach there, protector there, protector there. What? That's cool. Now, this furniture is not if you got kids. Kids are kids. Kids are kids. It's more like people at the end of the day that, I don't know, is there kid-proof cardboard? I gotta look that up now. Now that just dawned in my mind. Is there anything like that? Well, technically, no, that's stuff they had at the other place. The guy had that at 6 wide. You can drop those weights on there. You can put weights on that thing with a crack. So I don't know. It might be kid-proof on there. I'm going to look into that. Pretty sure someone did it. Think of it, someone's done it. Hey, what's up? I see you moved your dish over too. Stop doing that, please. Really, stop doing that creepy nonsense. Okay, jerk. No, those dirty stuff. I love them, but just stuff. What's down there? Oh, my weights. What do you think's happening? Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Nice little bookcase. I like it. I'm going to put my projector up here. That's why we put the pieces there. So we get it sturdy. Put it here. Pieces there and there. Make sure it's nice and sturdy. Take some of that plastic top we have for this right here. Line it across here. Line it across here. Makes it one big solid piece. Makes it much sturdy. We're going to line from here to here to here, and then bring it from this side to this side. After that, basically, paint it all black. Throw our neon up there, and we're done. That's it. Now with that Molex system, I can run fans, anything I want to this baby. I freaking like it. I like it. What do you think? You like it? Says I like it. You like it? I like it. You like it? Like it? Like it? Like it? Like it? Like it? I like it. We like it. We like it. I'll be all like it. Oh. Yeah, that's the screen that'll do you in right there. Better watch your back around that one. Oh. But that's the screen that'll do you. Oh, that's the screen that'll do you. Oh. What's that mean? All these screens are crush out. Crush it. Crush. I gotta clean my freaking. Which one will call this out? I gotta clean. I'm gonna do some PC maintenance pretty soon. And clean up my PCs. Crushing with power. Crushing. Why does he like it? Because he wants to be crushing. Completely crushing. Crushing all the time. Crushing. I like saying crush. Crush with the crush. Power with the crush. Crush. Say it with me. You say crush. Crushing. Russian said. No, you say excellent. Crush. With the crush. Any Russian friends? Actually, I did have a couple of Russian friends. One that actually had more of a American accent, and I had one that had a really thick accent. Beautiful accent. Beautiful accent. I like how to say crush. It's a shame how Hollywood paints Russian people to be bad people. You know that? You ever notice that? Why? They're not bad people. They're very nice people. Every group has bad people. Every people have good people. You know, Rocky, the Russian, you know, all that stuff. You know, they're nice people. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Come back to chocolate. What's going on with that? Why did you decide to do that? Hey, just get back to normal. No tacos. How does it sweetheart? We're just trying to get this stuff. I'm telling you. This is a freaking nightmare. What goes on in here sometimes? I wonder. Man, you ever lay something down and come back and it'd be like in the most tanglest mess you've ever seen. In your entire life. You get there from that point. And then just cut off. I don't know if it's 2 hours, 4 hours. I don't know that. You need a power onto this thing. Same thing. You're good. You're in the freaking spirit. Fight me out. sucks. Ouch, 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 ouch. Why are you? Go this way. I need you to go this way. Go this way, please. Not the place to be. Not the place to be. Trust me. Not the place to be. Somewhere. Thank you. I appreciate it. There. Thank you. I appreciate it. There. Really? Get off. Ouch. Really? Oh, what is he doing down there? Fix or something. Can't what? It's fixing it. Man, I remember having that whole setup over there and freaking Allentown. You know how much maintenance I had to do in that place with all that equipment in there, all those projectors that had to be upgraded, updated, new LED lights that had to be put in because they burn out every once in a while in certain sections. I had to redo all that stuff. There's a lot of work in there, keeping that stuff up. All right, fixes that mess. Stains. Problems with that. Someone wants to fight me a little bit here. What in the world? Ah, no. I lifted up the whatchamacallit behind me. I'm fixing the floor. Wait a minute. There we go. Fixing the floor. That's not your fault, Typo. I'm fixing the floor. Trying to get the whatchamacallit to stick together over here. Yeah, we're on Bluetooth. We're running on Bluetooth on our phone. Yeah, we're on Bluetooth. We're running on Bluetooth on our phone. Where's my phone at? It just died. Just died. Yeah, I'm still Bluetooth on everybody. All right, cool. We got the floor fixed. We got to fix the floor. That's better. He's sitting there, John, like, what happened? Floor. Which one fell over? Really? We having this today? Get up there. Oh, goodness. Something slide. Stay. All right. I gotta fix this. All right. Table, see that? Them big heavy jugs just on it? Didn't damage it. Sure, that's good. It's nice and sturdy. Now it's got some room. I definitely want to bring it back more this way. So let's get this over here. Before we get this, let's pull this out. So we get this separated. I need to get this organized a little better. I got a little craziness going on right now. This right here. Move this way. You have to fit under here so the LED light can still see my LED light. The last one I had it too high and I couldn't see my LED light system. Now I can see my LED light system much better. That works out much better right there. That's perfect. I'm going to put this here. A little farther back. Okay, that'll give me a much more bigger image on my projector. That's here. That's perfect. Just a little bit. That's perfect. Okay, now, what is this going here? Disconnect that, click on this. This is done. There. This is the cord going to the charger. Just tie it up with this. Should be on that. Should be there. Fixes that mess here. Just going to use this right here. This is going for the air cleaner. Let's get that disconnected. Center. Everything else is here, so we got enough gap to run everything back to here. And here for the week. Good, it's organized. Messes, I hate it. Everything is organized. Not organized, I can't bother with it. I gotta keep it organized. Give me a look back on. Yep. There you are. Now your phone. Alright, out of here. Alright. Looks clean. Alright. I was using this frame thing. No, they're on a smaller projector, which is big, so I'm not using those speakers. I'm not using those. I have small projectors, so this is necessary. Yes. Behave. Why are you even here? Why are you in that spot? Why? Purpose of the game, that's why. That's good. Right, that's taken care of. That cleaned up. Right. 6. Cat food. Maybe juice. Achieve that. Set this up. That's for this one. This is what I'm going for. That's for the controller. We got this. Let's see. Yeah, these are stuff we want to trash. Let's see. 2 bags of trash. Then we get that out of here. Let's go to trash. Got lunch juice. You need that freaking juice. All this has to be done. I got to do a cleanup of the whole area. All this got to be cleaned out. Bust all that equipment down. All that's to be cleaned. All that's to be done. Get everything busted down, cleaned up. Wipe this whole thing off. Get it all dusted down. Get it all cleaned up. Hold on, week said. We can't stand over here. It's too much heat in here. Alright, let's power cord to the bag. Extra tape to fix that mess. I even have the ritual going anyway. What? It's taco. Taco, you on my mind? You thinking every time? What? What? It's taco. Much bigger screen. Oh, man. Got me thinking every time. What kind of shit are you on? You should have been skip out of this. Yeah, it should have been a skip out of the mouse did. That's a splash. I mean, on top. Oh, we did. Okay, what's next? I'll turn you guys in a different direction. Internet. Shoot. Come on. Be nice. Come back. I want you to all that. Not even necessary. Oh, bag's in the way. That's what I said. Freak. The bag right in the way. Yeah, cool. Connection secure. It's on that side. Smear projector on that side. Allow me to expand my screen because I want to fill the whole thing out, but we don't have enough room on the desk because the desk is not big enough to do it. So this allows me to expand the whole thing out. So we won't have this anymore. I got this surface coming in, nice rigid. I'm gonna put two pieces at the bottom of it, raise it up, and boom, I have my screen. I'm using that for now on. Get rid of that monitor. Well, the monitor I still need it for something else, but I'm not using it for my PC work. I gotta be on the PC all the time. That's freaking headaches. Get rid of that thing. Got taco on my mind. What? There's taco. There's taco. There's taco. There's taco. What? And I can take my other piece and put it back up there, but I need to take this out. This has to go out. And just for the time being, until my surface is here, bridge you surface. I have my see-through PC screen. I think I'm gonna order me one of those virtual keyboards that can actually hit the table, which means I gotta coat that section of the table with our technology because I want to use a keyboard that you touch. Got the infrared keyboard. You touch the table and use that as a keyboard. That's what I'm gonna do. I basically hook this thing up. And it's getting there. That's tight. I'm gonna take a little bit and paint it. That's why we gotta put the whatchamacallit on it. Do I have any of this left? I wonder if I have this left. Sure, that's all right. Good one. Maybe it's this one. That's the good one. So I guess I'm gonna convert this one. I'm taking this one. Well, you're trying to do the top part of this. Ah, yeah, we snapped them in half today. Jack, man, it's scissors. I gotta buy another pair of scissors. Kind of snapped them a bit. Snapped. Maybe I need the scissors to cut this. I want to do it with this, but I guess it will work. Okay, leave my utility knife. That's what I paid for it for. Let me get an ink pen. That thing cut through like butter. I forgot I sharpened that thing. What's the point of having a utility knife? You ain't gonna use it. Look at you. Looking around trying to get into the midst of trouble with the man. With the man. With the man. Nice, that's a nice little lip up there too on top of that. Take that. remember that song. Johnny Come Lately, there's a new kid in town. Everybody loves him when you're not around. That's way back in the day. That's when I was a kid. Listen to AM radio. Johnny Come Lately. I'm gonna look that song up. I'm gonna look that song up. I forgot about that. Yeah, when you're nowhere to be found, Bird. Nowhere to be found. Just keep going around. That's why nowhere to be found. There's one right there. Just so there you are. How are you gonna do this? Okay. That was going way too fast. Should have waited on it now, right? Turn that off, get it on better. Gotta get it sleepy. Up late is nice, but I'm not gonna turn it the way I want to. So down there, I want to turn it off. And if I have the scissors on me. Oh, that'll work over there. Where's that good time? Come here, baby. I need you. Stuck in your own mind, got me thinking every time. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Stuck in my mind. Recording's on. Okay. All we can do is I could go back. That's crazy. I never thought that. Back in town when I was a kid, riding around on a bike, minding my own business. And a bunch of people gonna hate my guts on YouTube because I made a better product than them. Does it bother me? Nah, it doesn't. It comes with the territory. That's what it does. But when you're a Christian, the devil hates your guts anyway. That doesn't bother me. Since I already did your one already, I did that one. I used to hate people's guts galore. Been there, done that. You have no idea what's waiting for you. I can tell you one thing, it's a nightmare, man. It's an absolute nightmare. There's some days you wish you can wake up out of it, but you can't. So, in a way, the reason why you don't bother me, because I know what's coming for you. That's why. I know what's about to happen to them. You can sit there and say, hey, everything's fine. I'm like, no, you don't understand. You have no idea what's coming for you. Well, no idea. I've seen demons. You have no idea what's coming for you. I've seen them. I'm so happy to be on this side of the fence. Because you have no idea what's waiting for you every day. Ugh. Probably watching you right now. Yep, watching you right now. Because you invited. That's why I stay far from them. Crushing your stuff at the end of the day is what I'm supposed to do. If you challenge my company, my job is to protect my company. That's what it's designed to do. Why would people buy from somebody who cannot back their technology and cannot protect their technology at the end of the day? I wouldn't buy from a company like that. You let any company run over you at the end of the day and use your stuff, I wouldn't trust you. You can't back your stuff. No army will follow a general into war. They won't do it. And the fact that, listen, that general can show that he can basically stand the battle with them too also. You got weak generals in your army. You got weak commanders. So no soldiers will ever follow a general to the gates of hell and back if he cannot back what he does. Men die for those people at the end of the day because they can back it 100%. It's an honor to die for them. And you guys, I wouldn't dare basically break a nail for you guys. At the end of the day, your stuff sucks. You can't even back this stuff up. I should never have that box in there like this, ever. I should never see that ever, that box. I should never have a cancel receipt, none of that. I should be working with people at the end of the day that can literally back their stuff up, give me a hard way to go. Real good stuff. I don't get that. It should never be this easy. When it becomes this easy, this is when it becomes boring for us. I love when people sit there and say, what do you mean by us? Me, God, and the cat. That's what I refer to as us. It should never be that easy. At least back in the day, I got a challenge. At least I had people that really made products, stood by their products. I'd have never got a cancer from any of them. That's when basically doing competition back and forth with other paints was actually at its best. Now today, they basically dox addresses, they make puppet people at the end of the day, they whine and cry on receipts. Oh, good gracious, a bunch of pansies. It's like the Gen Zs of screen paints. Sorry about that, Gen Z, but I'm sorry. If you got Gen Z, then you already know what I'm talking about. Come on, they're not Gen X. They're nowhere near us. And sorry. People get offended by that. What about yeah, I know you love your kids. I understand that. It's a beautiful thing, it is. But they're not built like Gen X. Gen X was made tougher. We were made way, way tougher. Even our playgrounds were tougher. Come on, man. If the playgrounds we had back then existed now, oh, there'd be a lot of people crying right now. A lot of it. We didn't cry about that nonsense. Going down a metal, mind you, a metal sliding board. I never really thought about that too as I got older. Our sliding boards were steel. We had a steel metal sliding board. Why would anyone ever think that was a good idea? And it's baking in the sun all day. And you just happen to get up on the top of that slide, which, again, if you remember the sliding boards back in the day, they were like 6, 7, 8 feet tall. They were huge. Man, you can even feel the gravity get thinner as you walked up them things, man. And you got up on top of that thing and you slid down and you was a man when you came down the other end. All your skin was burnt off. You were in pain, but you was a man. Did you go home and cry about that? No, you got back up there. You try to do it again. Yeah, I know, because I've been through it already. I've been through worse. I remember the funnel. If you remember the metal funnels back in the day, great big, huge, tall, like 9 foot funnel that was scalding hot all the way around it. Yeah, roll around in there and go out the other end. I did that one at a place called Rocket Park. So yeah, we laughed about that today. We were talking about how our kids, we were built tougher than Gen Z. We got a bunch of Gen Zs in our family. Like, I know, but we have a sliding board that's made out of plastic. You can't get hurt on plastic. They don't generate any heat. They don't get hot. What about your monkey bars? Our monkey bars are like 10 feet tall. They were rusted. You know what I mean? You fall, and there was no freaking astroturf waiting for you. I remember I was bouncing around in this astroturf. Like, wow, this is what they make them out of? We had rocks down there waiting for us. Rocks, broken glass, and God forsaken, he didn't have any form of needles down there waiting for you, but they were down there sometimes for people shoot at the park. You had that to worry about. What was that freaking whirly wheel? The thing you got on, a bunch of your friends got on, and you just took off running, and then one of you would fall, and you would hang on to it, and you'd drag, and dust be kicking all up in the air while the rest of your friends laughed at your pain. But it was funny. We all laughed about it and went home. Everybody got dragged on that thing. Oh, man. The tether ball. Nothing beautiful about the tether. What's your life with the ball? But the bigger kids were on there, they would smack that thing, and that ball would come traveling around you at 100 miles an hour, smack you in the face, break your nose, or bloody your nose, one or the other. Tether ball taught you to take a punch to the face and get back up. That's really what it did. You know, you hit with a tether ball at 100 miles an hour, when you get back up, your nose is bleeding, all your friends are laughing at you. You know what we did? We didn't go home. Went to the nurse. They put an ice pack on it. They stuffed cotton up our nose. We'll break back up and play it again. And laughed about it. The Evil Knievel era. Jumping over stuff. Building ramps with nails in them. With just airborne. Up in the air to jump over a bunch of your friends. Last man got it the worst, by the way. All that crazy stuff. Jumping over trash cans. Jumping over your friends. Jumping over bikes. Jumping over a little toy baby carrier. Anything in the way you can find to jump over it. And yeah, you would fall, skin your knee, slam up against maybe your neighbor's car, something like that. The alarm would go off while the kids run off through the streets. I miss those days at the end of the day. Coming with all kinds of battle scars. The kid that got a broken arm was envied on the block. Everybody could sign his cast at the end of the day. Oh man, missing teeth, freaking scars on your forehead and all kinds of stuff. You know, you look at my battle scar. I got this the other day, man. Jumping out of the pool and I missed completely and just caught the concrete. And still be out there swimming. Get a concussion, come back out and play. Yeah, we're built tougher. I miss it. I miss every bit of it, man. I miss it, man. Best fun I ever had in my entire life, man. Best fun. Broke my arm, fell out of a tree. Broke my ribs, falling out of a tree. Got stitches in my upper lip, falling out of a tree. For some reason, me and trees just did not get along. Went to the hospital, 14 stitches in my bottom lip, blood all over my shirt. Came out, I'm going to wear the shirt with blood on it. Because, you know, I want my friends to show that, you know, I did something crazy. Yeah, man, fell out of the tree, man. 14 branches down, man. I caught that last one. Just splattered blood all over the place. Look at this, man. I got blood all over my shirt. My mom let me wear my shirt with the blood out just a little bit to brag about that. Some fun. Look at me, blood all over me, man. There's blood everywhere. You know, I was barely crawling to the house. He had to make the stories up, man. It's just so much fun, man. I just break you up, stop at a robbery. I broke into my house. I should have before. I miss those days, man. And the kids didn't stop playing. You broke your own soul. You still went out and played baseball. You still went out and had fun. Broke your leg, still went out and had fun. Yeah, I miss those days. I got Gen Zs now in our family. You're not built tough. They'll stay in the house, afraid to take on a venture at the end of the day. Not saying all of them. No, because I met some Gen Zs who are pretty different. Not saying all of them. I never say all of them. No. But the ones I've met so far, probably like to take on a survival hunting trip or something like that. Well, no hunting. No, they can't be. Some don't even want to bother with guns. No, guns are violent. No, they're not violent. The person using the gun makes them violent. Oh man. And then there's this alpha. I'm done. I'm definitely done. That's when the girl was talking about something. They're talking about something. When your kids are growing up like Jen's like, oh, heck no. Yeah, we had glucose and all that crap at the end of the day that they said that they can't have for the killing. We ate all that stuff. Nothing happened to us. Yep. I miss all that. I hate to say it. I know this will probably make some people upset, but Gen Z is weak. It is. It's a weak. They don't have pride. They can survive. I mean, yeah, they have the ability to be surviving all, but yeah. Like I said, I got them in my family. I think they're cuddled too much. That's what I think it is. We were never cuddled like that. You break something, you hurt something, get a band-aid, get a kiss, and then go back out and play. That's how it was. They're cuddled too much. But then they grow in the world, it's more violent than it is what it was. I don't know about that. Truthfully, to tell you the truth, we had serial killers back in that particular era, too. So, I don't know. The world's been dangerous since day one. You really think about it, nothing's really changed. It's always been dangerous. But like I said, I just think we were way more tough. Get food poisoning, be back out. Cut off. I got my hand burned doing something stupid. Right back outside. Got it all bandaged up. Went outside. Yeah, just man. Oh, fireworks. That's what it was. Got the firecracker. That's what it was. Or was it symptoms? Something. Was the firecracker Roman candles? It was Roman candles. We used to shoot each other with Roman candles. Yeah, Roman candles fights. Go out there with a freaking trash can lid, a metal trash can lid with Roman candles. Maybe some PVC piping. Make the customer wants to shoot a bunch of them. Oh, be out there having Roman candle fights in the middle of the street. They do that in New York City too, which is funny as on the world. I like to go out there and watch that craziness at the end of the day. Out there with football helmets and trash can lids. Oh man. Well, as I said, different time. And we was built tougher. Even our playgrounds were designed to make us tougher. Everything we had made us tougher. The food made us tougher. Now you can't have food because it can't have glucose and it can't have this, it can't have that because it's bad for your system. We ate that stuff, nothing happened to us. We turned out fine. But then now you beat a kid out in public, it's child abuse. Back then you would get the crap kicked out of you. You say something bad to your mom back in that thing, you will get the living snot kicked out of you. Now today, well, he's an adult, now a young adult. We let him make his own decisions. We feel that he is able to navigate his own decisions at the end of the day. Let me tell you something, people. You don't start beating your kids and teaching them the difference between right and wrong, the world will teach them. You don't want the world to teach them. Trust me. Trust when somebody's been in the prison system. You don't want the world to teach them. The world teaches them. They might not survive it. There's some really evil people on the planet. Some really, really evil people on the planet. Oh, take your life in a hot second thing. Nothing of it. You have no idea. And you have to teach them. You have to teach them to defend themselves. You have to, man. I don't even follow the neighborhoods, man. I've seen people die in so many different ways. I watch a man get set on fire at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. What kind of jacked up stuff that is that you got to process in the morning? You walk up to go to the store to get yourself a freaking box of cereal, and you watching two people arguing in the street. One got a jerry can, the other one got freaking a flame on his hand, like a torch. And you watch a guy get set on fire. Do you have any idea what that smells like and what that sounds like? The screeching call, the crying, the begging, and all that. It's horrible. Watch the guy turn into get set on fire. 12 o'clock in the afternoon. But you're sensitized to that kind of stuff. And you see violent constantly all the time. You watch people get shot. You watch people get stabbed. You watch it every day. That's how I grew up. I grew up in Strawberry Mansion, the heart of Strawberry Mansion, 1980s. When I tell people, gee whiz, good gracious, you grew up, yeah, 5 blocks from Strawberry Mansion High School, where I went to school at. One of those violent neighborhoods you can get yourself into. I watch people die every day. Every single day I watch people die. Ain't nothing new. You get used to it. My sister, I didn't know at the end of the day when she was 4 years old, she watched a man get stabbed to death for his car. The Maximum, Nissan Maxims, when they came out, had the computer control doors. You can just tap them in. But if you did it enough time, these buttons get worn out, and it's kind of hard to get to these doors. And he just couldn't get into the car fast enough. They were jacking him, so they stabbed him up. She watched the whole thing at 4 years old. Never knew that. Till one day she spoke to the family when she saw a murder. Actually, we killed all the time. Go to basketball court, and if I had a game, all you hear in the background, like, oh, you owe me? Yeah, it's time to get the freak off the basketball court. Because somebody at the end of the day gets shot. And I watch somebody pull out a gun and just shoot somebody right in the back. I'm like, geez, can I just go somewhere in a day where somebody just doesn't get murdered? That's why when I skated, I got out of the neighborhood. When I played hockey, I got out of the neighborhood. I can get out of the neighborhood. I can go to Penn's Landing. I can go down to West River Drive. I can get out of the freaking neighborhood, get away from the violence for a couple of days. At least for a day, just get away from it all. And then go back to Murderville, USA. And then the same violence, I became a part of it. It made me a part of the system. Yeah, that was a crazy stuff to go through, man. The worst. 33rd and Diamond, 8th and Butler, 5th and Allegheny, another violent neighborhood I was in. Yeah. And then the crazy thing about it is, once you survive all that madness at the end of the day, and you finally get out of it, it's still with you forever. Because that you can never leave it. It's in your head forever. Now, you're not the same violent individual you used to be back then to defend yourself on an everyday basis, but to be able to sit and relax and enjoy and not basically have your head on a swivel 24/7, that never goes away. Not ever. I actually could never understand that. Well, I had a fire on me 24/7. Because it wasn't because somebody was out to get me. It's just that's the way, basically, I just was able to survive. And she couldn't understand that. Why I was like that. In the restaurant, I always sit to my back to the wall, watch everything that comes in and comes out. She never going to understand why you like this. Why you like this? Like the world's out to get you. Because that's what I had to do to survive. And if for some reason, it stays with you forever. So when people think at the end of the day that a rapper makes it big and he gets out of the hood, and they think at the end of the day that, you know, he still has those crazy mentalities. He has the mentalities because that's the only way he knew how to survive when he was there. Only problem, it doesn't leave you. You can't be normal like everybody else. You can't sit back in your lawn and just relax and chill and think that the whole world is just honky-dory, because it's not. You'll think every day that somebody's going to try to come out and get you one way or another. But you got to take care of them before they take care of you. You'll never, ever be able to enjoy your life ever. Not ever. Because you'll always have that in the back of your mind. I can't walk into a crowded area because I know that at the end of the day, it has to be an area that I fully have control in that area. If I don't have control, I don't walk in it. You could understand why I would avoid parties, certain places I would not walk into. There's areas I walked in, I watch people get ambushed and murdered. I guess this is a bit of a kind of a post-traumatic whatever, in your head. That's what happens. You change your life, do this and do that, and start a business and everything, but it'll never leave you. In a way, it's a good thing because, again, it helps you survive the everyday world. You have a step up ahead of everybody else. But in another way, basically, it teaches you to trust no one. So, the only person I trust is God at the end of the day. If I get in a car with you, there's a 100% chance I have a firearm on you. I don't trust you. I will not get in that car with you at all. Because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking that you're going to try to take me somewhere and try to take my life. And I'm carrying that firearm to protect myself. Even though you can be the nicest person, I'll still have it on me no matter what. So when we went out to eat, I always had a firearm on me. When we went out with our friends, I had a firearm on me. One day was over at Old Country Buffet, and I went to reach for something, and the handle popped up a little bit. And her friends went up and said, "Yo, your boyfriend carries a gun on him?" And he says, yeah, he carries on 24/7. I didn't trust any of them at all. None of them at all. Business trips, firearm. Them training, hand to hand combat. So I keep going back and I keep going back in the training, keep advancing my fighting style. So that way, if I get in a situation where I don't have anything on me, I can get myself out of that situation on any means necessary. Yeah, that's literally what it does to you. Meanwhile, you got somebody who lives in the suburbs all their life. They don't even think that way at all. Because they grew up on that level. So I got nieces and nephews that grew up in the good life, and they don't. But then again, they're sheep for the slaughter because they don't know the bad things that can happen to them. They don't know the gimmicks, the scams, the rip-offs, people you can't trust in the day. Like somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, look, my car broke down. It's a beautiful female. My car broke down. Can you help me?" So don't do that because you never know. They could jump you around the corner, take your stuff from you, rob you. Anything could happen at the end of the day. People get caught up in that online nonsense, or people meet up with the female, she take you and get robbed at the end of the day. Even worse, wake up and your kidneys are missing. So yeah, no. Nope. Yep. So yeah. And then the other half of my military family, which are already paranoid to the roof already as it is, you know what I mean? They're quick in the day, but we go hunting, you're going to see a lot of black cases coming out of trucks. They arm up. They don't play around. We're out in the woods somewhere, and we're going camping. These people come fully loaded. I'd be surprised if there was an auto turret in one of those boxes. I'm the same way. If I go camping, yeah, I'm carrying that. Some heavy stuff. I don't play around. Smokey the Bear, Hillbilly, whatever. You ain't walking up on me in the woods. I got the MK, and for emergencies, I got an AA-12 with impact rounds, 300 rounds, and a T-mag. We don't play around out there. But think about it. You want to go out there like everybody else and enjoy yourself, right? You want to go out there and just chill, go fishing a bit. The brain's always on a swivel, up 24/7. When the boogeyman come, the boogeyman don't leave. My uncle said that when he was pulling out his cases. Yeah, boogeyman come, boogeyman don't leave. Funny. And we don't camp like normal people. No, we don't camp like normal people. Don't camp like normal people. Man. Dead on land, first thing you do is clear out as much. We can't do that there because we're there. But we could, yeah, white clean that whole area. All that brush, clean it out. Because we need a clear view of whatever's coming in. So at least we can keep it at bay before it reaches where we're at. Brain just functions that way. So if you ever seen my niece's place, when you walk up on that place, it's a clear, open area. There is nowhere to duck anywhere. So it's made so when you walk up on that property, they can see anything coming at them. Once you reach the wooded area, you're in trouble. If you made it past that, then you're good. If you reach that wooded area, you got something out there in the woods waiting for you. They're like that. They're wired like that because of what they went through. You better call them when you come in. Don't come up on their property and surprise at all. You got to call them when you come in. Yeah, because they're like that. They've been through some stuff. They're ops at the end of the day. They've been through stuff. They don't have normal lives. They want to have normal lives. They can't have normal lives. It's a shame, too. Everybody in the military don't have normal lives, which is crazy because at the end of the day, it's like you leave a part of your soul back there. That's how they look. They left a part of their soul back there. They're there, but they're not there. Yeah, I don't think man is designed to see that kind of carnage. You know, not designed to see that kind of carnage. Really not. That's why if you take kids that are raised in violent neighborhoods versus kids that weren't, it's totally two different people at the end of the day. It really is. Because you see a lot of violence and a lot of carnage. You know, like I said, never in the military, but live in those neighborhoods, yeah, you see a lot of carnage. I've seen everything you could possibly think of. Some things I can't even mention on camera. They were that bad. Bodies. You find bodies. Definitely find bodies. I found bodies. I found all kinds of bodies. People that were raped and murdered. People were shot to death. People were dealing. Somebody went bad. You find bodies. You do. They leave right out there, and the kids run up on that. You find them out there. Yeah. Yeah, you find them out there. And we found a car one day. Everybody was dead in the car. That's some jacked up stuff to walk upon when you're coming from a basketball game and you see an old car sitting back there, and you want a new car back there, and you go to the corner, everybody has been shot and killed. I think the worst one they had was an abandoned house. There were 14 people in it that were killed in that abandoned house. 14 people in the house. Somebody went and blazed that whole place. Somebody found it later on. But I thought we had that I had the car incident. Yeah, came from a basketball game, had a good game. Everybody had fun. Brand new car sitting up there in the bushes, and we go and looking at it. There are a bunch of people that were shot. That's normal. That's normal. Yep. And I survived all that to be alive today. Buried a lot of my friends. Yep. Been to funerals. I've been to so many funerals. I stopped going. Got tired of it. No point. Because next day he'll be gone. He'll be gone. He'll be gone. I'll be gone. And either way, it's going to happen that way. So you live that life. You live a life at that. That's why at the end of the day, when you naysayers talk about, oh, we're around the corner from you, I don't fear that. I have no fear on that at all, period. I don't even fear death at that particular point. Because in that life I was living, I was around death 24/7, so I don't fear that. You little white boys that send little comments over. I know where you live at. You're in a suburban area. And you send little comments over, well, we're around the corner. That don't mean jack to me at the end of the day. How many times I heard somebody say they was around the corner and had a van pop up in front of my house, locked and loaded? I've been through all that stuff. I've been through drive-bys. I've been through all that stuff. I've been shot, stabbed, and set up all kinds of stuff. I had somebody throw Molly at me one time. I've been through all that crazy stuff already. It ain't nothing new. You think he threatened somebody from the hood at the end of the day? We've been through all that violent craziness at the end of the day. Yeah, no. At that particular point, you have to accept your life for what it is. When you walk out that door, you have to realize that you are not coming back home. Don't even have a thought that you're going to come home, because you may not come home. You walk out the door, you do your everyday, whatever you do that day, and surviving in that nightmare, and you come back. If you're lucky to come back. That's how it works. You're not promised. You're not promised that your buddy, you shake his hand the next day, you're going to see him the next day. You're not promised that a girl you may have, you might not see her the next day. That's not promised. But I had a lot of good times in those neighborhoods too. I had fun, the block parties, our buddies getting together and going to different clubs and stuff like that, and then all the different stuff that we did. We had a lot of fun. But it comes with some downsides too. So, you guys sitting there telling me dumb stuff like, oh, open up, please. Give me a break. Give me a freaking break. Yeah. I don't fear anybody but God. It's the only one I fear is God. That's it. At one point, I didn't even fear him. I served the devil. So, I don't have any fear any little threats at the end of the day. I don't mean jack to me at all, period. I've had far worse. I've had people at the end of the day that could basically make a statement and carry it out in one day. And I was blessed to be able to survive all that at the end, all of it. So, your little things about I'm around the corner, what you think I'm going to do? You think I'm going to run around the corner? No. You going to be paranoid? No. I'm going to go about my regular day. That's what I'm going to do. And if you want to throw hands, let me throw hands. That's it. That's how it works. I go about my business. That's it. You're talking about little kiddie games at the end of the day. Please. How did you wake up in the morning and go out and play summer vacation when you was around 14, 15, 16 years old? I carried a gun on me when I went out. I was a kid. I carried a firearm. My mom had to get one. You know why? Because she wanted her baby boy to come home. Thank God in the situation, I never showed it off, and then everybody know what I had at the end of the day. But that's how I woke up. I woke up in the morning, put my Air Jordans on. Remember Air Jordans back in the day, once I had little snakeskins on. I had them Jordans in the day, and I had the black and red ones too. But anyway, you put them on, put your 23 ballers on, your shorts on with the Jordan little bulls in the front. You got your freaking 23 jersey on, put the headband on, got the pager tucked up in the top of the headband. I ain't smoked, but my buddy did. He had the freaking Black and Miles up in his on the side, and I had my pager on the other one when I walked out. And you put your piece on. You wear a long jersey, long baggy jersey. You put your gun right here on the side, and you walk out the door. Go up there, hang on the corner with your boys, have fun. Later on, get your boom box, be up there playing your music, listen, chill, hang with your friends, go basketball at the end of the day. That's what we did. Have fun. But every once in a while, something will pop off. But at least you know you had something with you to keep you alive. Yep. It kept you alive. I didn't drink or none of that stuff. I didn't smoke or none of that stuff. I was into more like candy and chips like I am now. I got to point at my people at the end of the day, and you stay in the corner. Rules were stay in your neighborhood. Even your neighborhood is dangerous, but at least stay in your neighborhood. Never walk outside your neighborhood. You walk outside your neighborhood, you're done. Got no way to back you, no way to help you out. Stay in your block area. There's none of that ET stuff. Ride your bike anywhere you want to live. I'm not doing any of that stuff there. You stay in your block. You're going out your block, then you go with your crew. Go with your clique, you go with your crew. That's what you do. All that jewelry like doing? No. All that stuff, take all that stuff off. All that stuff. They lace your sneakers up because you might have to run. There's a good chance somebody may have tried to jump you in the process. Yeah, all that craziness, man. All those rules. All those freaking rules. And then I move up to a nice neighborhood. People are nice. People across the street are nice. It's quiet. There's birds out there. I see deers from time to time. I can't enjoy it. Not because of you naysayers. You guys are jerks. And you are jerks. I can't enjoy it because of the way my head's wired. I wired security cameras all through the entire environment. Cameras in the front, cameras in the back. I go out and buy more equipment that I need, basically more hardware, which I don't need, but I get it anyway because you never know. I don't know if someone's going to walk up to the house and go into the driveway. I want to be prepared for all that. So yeah, got driveway cameras in, all that stuff in, infrared cameras, night vision cameras, all that stuff. I can see everything and anything that goes on through that whole entire section. Yep, and then she says, why the freak are you like this? Boy, if I had a time machine and I could take you back to 1980 Strawberry Mansion and you see the craziness that went on down there, you'd be like, what the freak were you living? Yeah, there you go. Welcome to my world. Yep, somebody else getting in the fight. That's where most of the damage came in. Somebody else getting in the fight. You just happened to get caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time. We had a part of the neighborhood called the OK Corral. Name meant everything about it. It's in Strawberry Mansion. It was called the OK Corral. And it lived up to its name. And if you wanted to get shot, that's where you go. Go down there. You're guaranteed to get shot down there. Guaranteed. You're always down there blasting. I forgot about the OK Corral. We were not permitted to be down there. No matter what. My mother said stay from that section. So that whole section went from here, I think, up to there. We weren't allowed to be down there. Once in a blue moon, I might sneak down there. You know, we see what's going on down there, what's light down there, but we weren't allowed to be down there at all, period. There was a store down there. We weren't allowed to go to that store. They sold a certain kind of chips. Back in the day, we couldn't go down that store at all, period. Oh, man, but I tell you something. Can I consider it to be one big bad memory? No. It's my life. That's what I already lived at the end of the day. You know, when you think about it, it's kind of weird at the end of the day. It was home at the end of the day, and that's what it was. Would I ever do it again? Never do it again. Never ever do it again. No, but it was still home. And a lot of good friends down there, too. A lot of good friends. Had a lot of good friends down there. That was my first time of learning how to wear my hat a certain way. Mind you, I came from Newark, Delaware. I came from suburbs. I came from suburbs right into the heart of North Philadelphia. I learned quick. I learned everything about it. I didn't grow up in a neighborhood like that. I grew up in a neighborhood that looked like something out of freaking E.T. That's the neighborhood I came from. I came from a cul-de-sac neighborhood into Strawberry Mansion. It's like pretty much, I can't even describe what that's like. But anyway, that's where I came from. I came from a neighborhood with big, wide open streets and little corners and stuff like that. Just like E.T., like a little cul-de-sac, beautiful neighborhood in the Strawberry Mansion, right in the heart of it. Went to Franklin, everybody remembers Franklin High School? Went there, and I went to Strawberry Mansion. And this is in the 1980s when crack first came out. This is when it was at its strongest, man. I've never seen a drug so destructive in my life. I've never seen anything like it. I watched entire families crumble, communities crumble, and people just kept taking it. It just kept taking it. Like you would see the results right there. You would see your friends reduce into zombies, and you would still take it. Like, why would they take it? And we all just sit up there and just look at this and like, why are these people taking this stuff? Are they crazy? I remember seeing a woman, hair done every day, nails done every day, new suits, everything, briefcase, tried a job working at a bank. She was a manager at a bank. Drove a beautiful car every day, every day. She went to a party and she got some of that stuff. And man, after a while, she was unrecognizable. Out there in the streets, the zombie stage, man, washing cars. First was turning tricks, and they turned tricks to a point where the body's not anywhere worth the job anymore, and then they're just about there washing cars and just doing whatever. That's what that stuff turned her into. And I watched people turn to this. I watched a guy at the street. He had a beautiful family. He worked as a prison guard. He got all that stuff. And ended up losing his wife and his kids. They left. They left him. Ended up in the house by himself, smoked out. I watched it, man. Just crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. I watched dealers stab dealers in the back, and they watched them get murdered. They were best friends, growing up as best friends, and ended up killing each other. Yeah, horror stories. Absolute horror stories. Yeah. Go past abandoned houses, you see lights going off in there, people smoking crack in there. Crazy stuff, man. Ugh. Yeah. Ugh. Yep. Crazy, crazy stuff. Watch drive-bys, watch people get shot in broad daylight. When they get shot in broad light, they get shot by it. Somebody gets shot in broad light, they're like, huh, that's messed up. And they go back eating. Somebody call 911. Somebody, this guy's bleeding out over here. I got it. Sensitized to it. That's when we went over to Temple University, also on Park Avenue too. Park Avenue is a road with a solid name. I lived over there too for a while. These are a little better because it was closer to Temple. But Park Avenue in that area down on that strip was considered to be no man's. The cops don't go down there. They don't go in that section, especially Temple. Temple would step foot in that area at all, period. Because if you go down there, there's a good chance you're not coming back. I don't care if you are an officer, there's no chance you're coming out. There's certain places that police officers don't go to. And that was one of the places that I go to. Temple would step foot down there. I never forget, I told you, I was walking a pit bull without a leash. Now, again, young, ignorant, that's what I was. But anyway, I was walking with my pit bull, and I had it trained. It wasn't going to attack anybody. And from the where we was walking at, there were no college kids in that section, which I knew because I walked the dog past all the time. But I had them on control when I was walking them. And of course, an officer came by on a bike. It was a Temple cop. Now, he was in his right. You know what I mean? As I'm older now, he's in his right. Yes, definitely. You're walking a 150-pound pit bull. It's a big dog with no leash. And you don't know whether this dog has the capability to attack somebody or whatever. And even though I said he don't bite, which I don't believe people do, and say the dogs don't bite, got teeth on it, and guess what? It bites. But anyway, I thought he should mind his own business. And me and him had a little conversation back and forth. They didn't carry guns; they were more like a security unit. But anyway, we had a little conversation back and forth. I said, "Well, I'm gonna continue to walk him, and that's what I'm gonna do." I said, I said, I'm over here." I didn't point where I was at. He thought I was on campus or something. I said, no. I said, "I'm over here." I kept pointing over it, which is across the street. Because once you hit Temple and you cross over, that's our area over there. They don't go over there. So as we're talking, we're having a conversation. You're not doing nothing. I'm gonna walk over here, and that's the end of the conversation. That's the end of it. Go about your business, mind your business. And I was ignorant, like I said. So when we walked over and he see me cross the street where I was going, he stopped. I said, "Why don't you come over? Let's have a talk." He was like, "No, I gotta go. Got things to do." And took off. Yes, there's nothing further over there. They can't go over there because that area is controlled by them. Everything in that section. Now, later on, 10 years down the line, once the city started basically gentrifying the neighborhood, then they were allowed over there because then they had support. But other than that, they wouldn't go in there. I heard from a conversation from an officer one time that told us that we don't come in there until the shooting stops because, we don't want to we don't want to get caught up in that mess. I don't blame them. There you go. I'm like, "You're afraid to go in there? What you afraid to go in there for? I live in there." I go over there. Yeah, all that craziness. You want to go in there? I don't blame them. I don't blame them. When you think about when you get older, you want to go home to your wife and kids. I understand that now 100%. You do want to go home to your wife and kids. You want to be in that. And then when you're living in that neighborhood, you want to get out of the neighborhood. You want to go home. You want to have the suburban life. You want to have the nice fence and the big yard, and you don't hear gunfire. You don't hear dogs constantly barking and fighting and screaming and yelling and all the craziness that goes on. You don't want to hear any of that. You just want to be to live in a nice neighborhood. I would go up and visit my brother who lived in the suburbs. And man, I sit out there on his porch and it just be beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. And I think one day I'm gonna get out of that neighborhood and I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna have this life one day. I'm gonna finally get out. And I got out. And yet I still live with that in my head forever. God took a lot of that out. He did. If he didn't, I'd be the same person I was. He took it, but it's still in my head forever. It'll still be there forever. I'll never forget any of it. None of it. Not any of it. It'll be there forever. Yep. So you suburbians like Partey and McAfee, you know what I mean? Think you or what do you call what's your other guy named Jamie thinks he's tough at the end of the day. You ain't tough. Trust me. You lived in Strawberry Mansion in my section where I lived at, you would have survived the first hour down there. You'd have did something stupid. Somebody would have been stomping you out somewhere. You wouldn't have made it that far in that neighborhood. Man. Now you go through, you can't even recognize it. Don't look the same way anymore. All the houses are gone. They rebuilt the whole entire area. Philly's still violent, but Philly's always been violent. People sit there and go, "Oh, Philadelphia's so violent." It's always been violent. It always has been. I don't see it changing. I really don't. It always has been violent. Every neighborhood has been violent. It's Philly. Every neighborhood's been violent. See, the thing about it is you don't live there. You don't understand. You don't live in the heart of the craziness of the monster at the end of the day. If you're not next to the heart of the beast, then you're going to sit there and go, "Oh, it's gotten very violent." No, it's always been that way. It's literally always been that way. Okay, this Philly, every neighborhood you go to has always been that way. Nothing's changed. The only thing that's changed is basically put new houses down there and they gentrified the neighborhood and they put better stores and all that stuff, but the neighborhood is what the neighborhood is. It is what it is. Excuse me. It's been violent. Like people saying the world isn't violent. Or stopping wars. Good luck with all that. Can't stop wars. You know they can't stop them. You have to change the way we do wars. That's the only way, but you can't stop actual war. Wars have been going on since the beginning of time. You can't stop them. You got to change the way you have warfare. Like the virtual wars, that would be amazing. It'd be crazy to have a Call of Duty virtual war. I would freaking love that. See, then you wouldn't have any casualties, you wouldn't have any death. All that money could be used for us at the end of the day. Yeah, you wouldn't need all that stuff. And then gamers at the end of the day, you'd be glorified because you'd be soldiers at the end of the day. You have to go in there and fight battles with other countries in virtual worlds. Tell me how sick that would be at the end of the day. See? You could sell merch, all that stuff, man. They could prophesize off merch, commercials, all that stuff. You'd be like the Running Man, except for nobody dies. If you lose, you have to give up territorial rights, but there have to be rules in there too, because you can't have enslavement, empowerment, and dictators and all that crap going on. So that would have to change. But still, it'd be fun. People would be killing themselves to go sign up to get re-enlisted. They would like, wait a minute, I can get you get paid for that too. On top of that, yeah, man. People the army would be overflowing with people just trying to get in. It's all virtual war. Like really, they got a section for planes, people flying planes, all simulators for them, tanks, all that stuff. And you just go to battle with other countries. That's pretty much it. If you don't have something, you can't agree, you can't talk it over, let's get it in. You do it all day long in Call of Duty. You literally go in there and have tag team fight matches in Call of Duty. Why can't we have that in World War? See? Same thing. Why can't we do the same thing? Just take the video game and turn it for war. That's it. You can't, actually, like I said, you can't stop war, but you can change it. So imagine if war was one big video game, like Call of Duty. You guys are experts in the game of Call of Duty. You have a field day in there. You know you would. Heck yeah, you'd have a field day in there. And you have to be chosen to get in there. Because not everybody's a good gamer at the end of the day. They have to check your ranking and all that. You have to go to training, check your ranking and stuff like that. See how you're ranking. The only top, like what they call them, the ones that play at that certain high level in Call of Duty. I forgot. Y'all got a name for y'all at the end of the day. It's an area where y'all play it. But it's only for the very top, the very high ones playing there in the day. Prestige. Is it Prestige? I think it's Prestige. It is. I think it is Prestige. You guys playing that crazy level at the end of the day. But anyway, yeah, they'll be in there. That'd be insane at the end of the day. So, You wouldn't have to spend the money for missiles and weapons and all that stuff when we need it. So where would they take all that money at? Give it to the people. Gamers would become superstars. Yeah. You have merch, all that stuff underneath for you, stuff like that. Yeah, it'd be crazy. That's what they should do. And just make it all freaking online wars. People would watch that. They pay subscriptions. A subscription cost to go on and watch these wars go up. You would make a ton of money off of this. Nobody would get hurt. All the game at the end of the day. But so they better do this. It's better for them to launch missiles and wipe out entire cities. It's better for them to go in and cause genocide and kill and murder. That's better for them. Okay. I like my talk time here. Oh, I was supposed to be heating up the glue gun. What the freak? Ken, get it together. I got plans. I'm going to disappear, my man. Yep. I'm going someplace else. All you people thought I was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Because I talked about a digital Earth. You know, this actually been brought up multiple times on a digital Earth. Did you know that? So I wasn't too far off. When I thought about having machines build another Earth, there's actually been chatter about it, about building a digital Earth for quite some time, before I even thought of it. Why not? Why not? But there's been thoughts about it, of actually trying to construct another Earth, a digital Earth. You sat there and watched that freaking Death Star. What do you think the Death Star was? It was a giant planet with a weapon on it. That's what it really was. The Death Star was not actually a planet. It had a giant weapon on it. That's all. But can it be done? Yeah, it can be done. It really can be done. But something like that would be constant maintenance. It would be constant maintenance. But then you got machines at the end of the day. These machines today, the bigger ones, you can make these small micro machines to have that just constantly go into different areas and just do repairs. Anything needs to be fixed, these things pop out and just repair what needs to be fixed. That's basically it. But that's not possible. We have it already. We literally have that already. They have machines the size of mosquitoes. They want to use them for, I don't know what they plan to use them for. That's a scary thought the other day. That freaks me out. The bigger ones, at least I can see them. But you imagine something being that small, like a mosquito, that's a robot at the end of the day. That would freak me out. Good luck trying to stop that in warfare. Can you imagine 100,000 or 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000 of them things coming at you? What the frick are you going to do? Oh, EMP. That would definitely cause the problem right there. Yeah. That would definitely be the job. That would definitely work out. Yeah. Well, but then some bright idea, someone coming on and be like, I figured out the better machine that brings to get around the EMP. Oh, well, we're all done. We're doomed. We're doomed. Yeah. It's funny because that's why they use the dogs in Terminators. Because dogs can sense that it wasn't really human, it was a machine. They could sense it would spook them. That's why they had dogs in there. Dogs could pick up that it wasn't human. Especially when they started making them more human looking, and they couldn't figure out what they were. Couldn't tell them from a human. The dogs could pick it up. Interesting world we live in, man. I tell you, it's funny because I remember reading all this in a magazine called Popular Science when I was a kid back in the day, and just to watch all this stuff actually happening. Man, I thought by now, by the time I reached the age I am at now, I thought we would have the jets in life. I at least thought we would have machines to be able to fly to other places at the end of the day. I mean, at least at the end of the day, if we had other worlds we can go to, we can build populations on those different worlds would be pretty cool. Other than the ones we can't be on right now because they're uninhabitable. But still, we found other planets we can. I thought we would have rocket ships to be to travel to other places by now and moving sidewalks. And what about that machine they had on the Fifth Element? You drop that little pill in there and it makes a whole entire dinner. What the freak happened to that technology at the end of the day? We don't really have a lot of stuff to change you honestly. We haven't really hit the future. If you look at it and you ask, are we in the future? We're not, because we don't have space travel. That's why we are not in the future. We need to have space travel if we should be in the future. But then again, once we have space travel, where are we going to go? Because I don't think there's anything out there, to tell you the truth. But so it would be interesting. Still, if there's nothing out there to land on another planet that's in the day, that's not inhabited by anything at all whatsoever. We should know what kind of animal species. At the end of the day, the Bible talks about how we're not, there's mysteries of the world we don't know. It's not meant for us to know these things. When the time comes, it for the people that are going to heaven, it'll be let you know that what goes on in this world and beyond. We don't know anything about that. There could be other parts and other things out there that we don't know about, but it's not meant for us to know yet. God has hid it from us for us to ever see it. There could be other worlds out there. There could be other things out there at the end of the day. We really think about that. I know it says God made man in the image of himself. That is true. He did make man in the image of himself. But there's mysteries of the world we don't know anything about. We're still finding plant animals down here on the earth that we never even knew existed. New fish. Oceans only been basically explored 15%. So what the heck is going down in the other half of that? That's the part that baffles me. What kind of giant fish are in the bottom of the ocean? What kind of stuff is down there we don't know about? Even worse, what kind of stuff is watching us and we can't watch it? So yeah, it's crazy at the end of the day. Yep, there's some places that are just not meant for us to know yet. So if you go to heaven and God tells you, like, hey, yeah, there's a complete entire alien race right there, it just wasn't meant for you to know about that because it wasn't for you. But you're being insane. We only know of God or what's in the Bible. We don't know God. People read the Bible and they think they know God. You don't know God. You know of God. You don't know God. In other words, you don't know what he does. You don't know how he thinks. You know you're not him. All the secrets that God knows, we don't know those at the end of the day. He knows so much that we don't know. We're only allowed to know what he allows us to be able to know. There's other things in this world we just don't know about yet. You think we explored the entire world? It's impossible. There are things about this world you know nothing about. That's why there's places in this world you can't go to. There are literally places on here that you cannot go to. You're not supposed to be in those places. No one's supposed to be in those places. There he goes. Is that right, Top? It's doing right, man. Doing right. It's not meant for you to know. It's not meant for you to be there. And I have discussion groups I like to go to that I can go in there and I can talk about all kinds of stuff. We talk about sea monsters. We talk about outer space. We talk about all kinds of stuff while we're in there. And one of the things I like to talk about is basically that's occupying this. One of the things I like to talk about is basically what's under the ocean. We don't know what's under the ocean at all. Period. 15%. We only explored 15% of the ocean. Can you believe that? Only 15%. That's all we explored. 15% of the ocean. That's crazy. Maybe the other half we can't get to it. 15%. That's all we got of the ocean. You know how big the ocean is? 15%. That's all we're able to reach is 15%. So what life form is living in the other in the rest of it? Giant Leviathan down there. Give you anything down there. Anything. There's life all over the planet. You can go out in any area, even in the coldest parts, the hottest parts, there's life out there. So there's life down there in that other half of that 15%. Can you imagine being God and seeing all that, everything over the entire planet? All right, let me see. Happy with this. All right, yeah. Definitely let's break that off. Can we take a look at it? That's how we got. Oh, shoot, my phone's charging up. I don't know if someone trying to reach me or not. Yeah. Like that, across. I'm just cleaning that off, wipe it all down, and do a nice shower over the top of it. I'm going to do another piece at the bottom. Just sturdy that one. Sturdy that piece in the middle. Yeah. I'll tell you at the end of the day, yeah, God was watching over me. Because, man, as much trouble as I got in those neighborhoods, man, I definitely should not be having this conversation with you right now. Really shouldn't. Should have been gone a long time ago. Definitely should have been dead. Same wrong people. Definitely should have been dead. I tell you how good God is. That's why I say I would never say that no one can't be saved. Anybody can be saved. The only way you can't be saved is you commit suicide. Well, that's not away from the door. And you blaspheme against the Holy Spirit. That's unforgivable. Other than that, anyone can be saved. Even those people, anyone can be saved. Gentlemen, I was way worse than you at the end of the day. You were nothing like me on my level, but I was at the end of the day. Nothing like me. You weren't facing a 40 to 80 year prison sentence, were you? You had to do a lot of damage to get something like that. A lot of jacked up stuff you have to do. Yeah. And that would end up getting charged with that kind of 40 to 80 years. That top DA in Philadelphia was prosecuting me. Yeah. So I know you guys want to call yourself big and bad at the end of the day. You're not big and bad. I didn't consider myself to be a big and bad guy. I was just a fellow at the end of the day that wasn't afraid to die. It's basically about it. Suicidal, depression, and all that stuff I was going through. And I was waiting for somebody to kill me, to get me out of my misery. So I did whatever it took at the end of the day to get as much people as possible angry at me. But at the end of the day, I had to basically hold my own. That if anyone came against me, I was ready to do what I had to do. And I wasn't afraid to walk out in the street. If someone put a death threat on top of my head, I went out there. You're going to get me, don't get me. I'm going to get you, I'm going to get you. That's how it was. I didn't cower at the end of the day. And there's no time. You don't have fear in that neighborhood. You know what? Because you got to live. You got to go out and make money. You got to go this. You got to do that. If it happens, it comes to a point, you just got to deal with it when it gets there. So, and you guys in the day, you would never survive in a neighborhood like that. And I wouldn't wish anybody to be in a neighborhood like that ever. Not the way to grow up. But, unfortunately it happened, and therefore it is. Therefore it is. Y'all trying to be tough and gangster at the end of the day? Stop that, please. Really. You don't want that kind of life at the end of the day. You don't know what you're talking about. I got Gen Zs in my family want to be tough. Act like they're gangster and this, that, and the other. Like, you don't want that part of life. Don't do that. Don't do dumb stuff like that. You don't be about that. Like that. I like on the they did with the NWA. Is NWA saying it right? NWA where it was? Where they're on the bus and the kids were making the gang symbols and stuff, and how that guy got off and got on that bus with him and tried to explain to him, you better start hitting them books and stuff like that. You gain sound knowledge at the end of the day. Because you're not ready for that type of life. I was never in the gang at the end of the day. I was never in that type of activity at the end of the day, but I was in some violent stuff because I was an enforcer. At the end of the day, an enforcer means that people owe stuff. My job was to go and get the money. Any means necessary. So at the end of the day, I had a lot I had to live for. It was so bad. At one point, I wanted to kill myself when I became a Christian because I couldn't deal with the guilt. Couldn't deal with the pain of it all. of knowing that I was that type of person. And knowing at the end of the day that my Lord basically died on the cross for me, and I was out there doing all that destructive nature, and He died on the cross for me. He died for me at the end of the day, and this is what I gave back to Him. I couldn't take it when I got saved. So I was going to kill myself. The devil was telling me to kill myself. Oh, kill yourself. God don't want you at the end of the day. Why would He want you at the end of the day? He went out there and just didn't realize that's how slick and how fast Satan is. I just got out of the prison system. I just beat a 40 to 80-year prison sentence. The top DA couldn't evict me. He was in there praying with my family at the end of the day and gave me the 10 years. So that's why I took the 10. But that fast, I'm already a free man. I'm already home. I got baptized on my first Sunday. I kept my promise to God. I got baptized on my first Sunday coming out. I didn't go out and party with my friends. I didn't go do that. I didn't do none of that. I came home. I stayed with my Bible. And when the Sunday came up, I went and got baptized. I kept my word as I said I was going to do. And because of that, the devil came in that quick, that fast. When I'm reading through the Bible and all that guilt's coming in now because of all the destruction and pain I caused my family, I caused my friends, I caused other people at the end of the day. And here comes Satan at the end of the day. Oh man, God don't want you. God don't want you. Now realizing the Lord took me out of all that. If God didn't want me, He would have had me stay in there and I would have died in the system. That's what would have happened. But the Lord kept me out of that. And that fast, the devil came and clouded my mind that quick and said that, oh, you might as well kill yourself. You might as well commit suicide. God don't want you at the end of the day. Look what kind of monster you are. Look at the destruction you caused at the end of the day. I had a woman come around the corner, spit in my face because of the damage and stuff that I did to her family. The relentlessness that I caused to these people, the pain I caused them at the end of the day. I was a Christian man, came in there, spit in my face. And she screamed and yelled at me and everything and cried and everything. It's just the pain I brought these people because I was ruthless. I was that type of person. Did I get mad at her? No, I took it because it was for me to take. I caused these people a lot of pain. They had that right. So I didn't get mad about it. I said, I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm not that person anymore. She didn't believe me. You're always going to be that person. You're the devil. That's what you are. It is what it is. I caused that damage. I got to take that pain. So, when I got in the house and I prayed on it, that's when Satan comes popping in, telling me to kill myself. Because that's what you're always going to be. You will always be that person, no matter what. Nothing will ever change. You will always be that person. Realize that person died a long time ago when they baptized me. But the devil came in that quick. And I almost did it. I almost ended up killing myself. I was going to take a bunch of pills that I found in the closet, and I was going to take all the pills and kill myself. But I went downstairs and I started talking to my mom and I told her what I was feeling. And she said, baby, that's what happens. The devil's going to try to come. He's going to try to get rid of you because he's got that close. He had his claws on you and he wants you. And now we can't have you anymore. And now he's upset. And that's what you're going to have to do. And I said, I want you to read this scripture in the Bible. And I read the scripture in the Bible about Saul. Saul went out and murdered all those Christians and everything. And how he had so much blood on his hands and how the Lord knocked him off that horse. And the horse spoke to him. And I thought, wow. If God can save this man today, He can save me. I never murdered anybody. Didn't make me any better, but I didn't murder anybody. But if God can save him, He can save me. And there you go. I started my path. And ever since then, my bond with God has been unbreakable. So you guys to come in to try to basically tell me at the end of the day that my blessings are tainted, that I'm not a servant of God at the end of the day. I was a servant of God before you even knew I even existed on YouTube or any other platform. I was a servant of God. I made that promise to God when I was sitting in a lockup cell doing almost about to do 40, 80 years of my life and the system, and I gave that trust to God when I was in there. So you know nothing about me. Trust me. Not a thing. Not a thing. You know nothing. I've seen so many miracles from my Lord in that timeline, and from now, I've seen demons and all types of things that possess and roam this earth. I've seen all types of stuff. So you just sit there and tell me at the end of the day that I don't know who I know? Yeah. Sure. That's why we continue to rise, and that's why you continue to fall. You serve the devil. How come I never built an ice cream PC? Look at these PCs. Like, now an ice cream PC, or a PC like is made out of ice cream. When are you supposed to make a candy PC? All right, where am I supposed to build that? We got too many we're building right now. We got that one over there. We got to finish. We got that one. We got to finish that one. We got that one over there. We got to finish. And now I want to make a. I'm looking at these now. I want to make an ice cream pizza. Pizza is made out of ice cream, like candy and all that stuff. Twizzlers and oh man, I can make the liquid cooling system. Make it right there made out of Twizzlers. Oh, that'd be sick. All right, let me get my mind off of that because I'll be working on that next. All right, let me see. Cabinet looks nice. Put my stuff on it. It's nice and sturdy. The reason why it's better to put this on it because when you paint it, the paint makes it cardboard buckle in. That's why. So don't paint it in. Put this across it first, and then you paint the rest of it in. It'll harden because it'll make it buckle in, and stuff won't set right. It'll be slanting left and right on it. That's why we have. I love it, Taco. What are you talking about? Taco, you haven't been here to watch me build this. Usually under my feet all the time. Like, wow, under my feet. Yeah. Yes, sir. You know what? See, this is why I'm glad that I have these conversations because I have to constantly reevaluate myself all the time. I have to constantly evaluate myself all the time. You know why? Because the devil had a hold on me. I have to constantly evaluate myself all the time. The devil had such a grip on me. Because I got to be careful. He could have a grip on me and I not know he has a grip on me. And he could be leading me down the wrong path. I could be doing the wrong things and saying the wrong things and not know I could be back in that same situation. And it scares the daylights out of me that I could end up that person again one day. And I don't want to ever be that person. That's why I try my best to do what I got to do. I'm taking that refusal paint and throwing it in the trash. I'm taking all that junk trash. You know why? Because I can see it coming out. I can see it. That talk in the park, I see it. That talking about we're done with this mess. We're done with it. We're done with it. You know why? Because we already proved our product at the end. We already done what we need to do. I'm done with it. That's it. I'm throwing all that in the trash. You're not getting any more stuff sent to us. I'll see you in court like we have to do at the end of the day. We'll go from there. But we're done with all that mess. We're done with it. I'm tired of it. Because again, that's just entertaining the devil, and that's what it is. It's entertaining the devil. Do you know when I come on here? If I talk too much about this guy, I get pains in my chest, like really bad pains in my chest. If I get quiet for a minute, because my heart rate's either pushing up, I'm getting a pain in my chest, that's what Lord telling me, back away from this nonsense. Do not entertain the devil. Back away from it. And that's what I'm doing. I'm entertaining Satan. I'm backing away from it. We already know what we need to know. We're done. That's it. If they want to say what they say, let them say. Let the devil speak. I'm done. I'm moving off of it. I got to do God's work at the end of the day. I got to be careful about stuff like that. I got plans and things I want to do. I want to put my technology on the next level. I want to use my money that I get from my technology to be able to help other people out and get them to know about the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I can't do that if I'm occupied about what the devil is doing behind me by doing these little things at the end of the day to keep you off your path. And I got to see it for what it is. Now, they can sit there and go, oh, you're free. We've done all this stuff already. We've literally done all this stuff. We got evidence on everything. I'm done with it. Throwing that in the trash. I don't want it. So then I'm going to work on my stuff. That's what I'm going to do. And give my glory to God. Can't give my glory to God with that mess. Bam. Bam, 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 bam. And see people that get upset by that, and they'll go, "Oh, but you're gonna those. I know what you are. You're influencers of the devil. That's what you are. When you do that, a Christian's backing away from something because they know he's going down that bad path, and you go, "Oh, but you're an influencer from the devil. That's what you are. That's what you are." I'm trying to keep it going so that Christian can continue to follow down that dark path, chasing that dark path. Even though he's proved himself, he's still going down that dark path. And that's what the influencers do. Be careful, as I said before. Life is short. We don't all get to stay here long enough as it is. When your time comes, you better hope you're ready for it. Friends, I got this strawberry shortcake. Strawberry shortcake. I have to move. She's just been taking me out to these places to get strawberry shortcake. $6.50 for strawberry shortcake. That's insane. That's crazy. To make this, but still fantastic. Shit, a fantastic. $6. She wanted me with the whole cake. I was like, no, we're not doing the whole cake yet. That's too much for me right there. But yeah, she helped her move, and she takes me to these nice fancy places to go get stuff that I want. Something you want this one, I go get that. Like, okay. Well, next time, every time we say, okay, we're even. Are we even now? Because I helped her move some heavy stuff. We're good. I didn't ask for nothing in return. That's all. But she's a real nice person. She said, well, next time. I said, next time? Well, we already came out again. She said, you ready to help? No, we're going. So we like hanging out with each other. She's a cool person. She's a nice person to hang out with. So I have fun when I hang out with her. But yeah, she buys these. She likes these fancy foods and stuff. She's real cool, real nice person. For those people in the day think, oh, does that mean you're no, my life is single forever. I like my life. I enjoy my life. I do. I like to be by myself. I like to work on my projects. When I'm working on my projects, I'm left alone. No one's around in my life. I love it. I love the free time. There you go. That's it, free time. I love my free time. That's what that comes down to. That's free time. It's free time. I love I have all this free time. And I get to do all kinds of cool stuff. In the home front, me and Taco are building a full-size train set. I finally got a flatbed big enough to put his butt on it. And he finally started riding on it. It took forever. He parked the train most of the time. But now he's finally getting up and riding around it. So, the new place we get, the warehouse, we're going to put another train system in there. And now since he's used to it, you just got to get him to wear the conductor hat. That's another problem. But anyway, he gets on the flatbed and he lays down and it takes him all different areas. He loves it. So we're going to get another train set put in there. And the only thing big enough to pull a cat of his size, not a big cat, but I had to get the electric lino, old-fashioned, the metal engines. The only ones that can do it because the plastic ones won't pull him. He's too big. He's a cat. He's big. He's not a big cat, but he's still got weight on him. Yeah. So yeah. I'm going there and getting the train set and getting that done, getting things set up. And that's basically about it. And then most of my time is spent working because I got a dream, people. Once I get everything established and everything we need to do to help other people out, I'm going to get my old barn. I'm going to get a whole entire field of wildflowers, hopefully attract beautiful butterflies and beautiful, I like every kind of thing. Sea dragon, that's what dragons call. They call them dragonflies. I like dragonflies. They're cool looking. Dragonflies, and oh man, can you imagine being out on a farm like that and just looking at this whole sea of beautiful twinkling lights and the moonlight at the same time triggered off? That's a beautiful scene, man. Nice little small little house. Or nice little small little barn. Either way. That's what I want. I don't want any gourmet kitchen. Don't want any fancy bathroom. None of that. I want it simple. That's what I want. That's what I want. Sit out there and just watch the world. That's it. Me and Taco. That's all I want. And I just want me and him and God. That's it. My peace of mind. Yep. I'm going to get it. I'm definitely going to get it. Sit out there, old man, and watch the world. And the right time. Grow old. You grow your gray hair in. Do you have any gray hair? You have gray hair. You got white hair on your chest right now. You're already starting already. You're in your white patch of fur on your chest. Okay. He's not taking too long to do that. All right, people, I gotta go. I finished the book. We're finished. We're done. And we're gonna paint this up real nicely. And we're gonna get the real screen put in because it's not the real screen. I actually ordered a nice piece of plexiglass, and I found the little clear legs that fit underneath on top of it. So that's gonna become my new that's gonna become my new PC screen. Right, Taco? How in the world is your back legs longer than your front legs? I know it's a thing for them for one, but still, can you imagine me buying sneakers for him at the end of the day? Like, how would it even work? And your back legs are so much longer than your front legs. Look at the paws in the front. Look how long these legs are. That's his ankle. That's why I bug him all the time. Cats have ankles. Now, is that a kneecap? I think it's a kneecap. Kneecap's supposed to be in the front, but it's in the back. Yeah. Oh, but how you keep your feet so white? You say go around. You don't like to be recorded sometimes on his feet. But they are. Look at your paws. Got little paws right there. Little paws right there. Look at you. Look at you. Taco. See him turn his head? Yeah, he gets sarcastic. All right, people, I got to get to work. I'm out here talking to my cat. My cat's like, man, you don't get that camera out of my face. I got to, what do we got to do next? I found out the Disney Racing's on the PS4. I downloaded it. I'm definitely playing. Definitely. All right, well, I got PC maintenance to do tomorrow. I was supposed to do it today, but I'm going to do it tomorrow. Do you see that? It's supposed to be white. That's all dirt down there. That's all dirt. You're getting barely any air off the radiator, too. That's all dirt in there. Hold on. Ouch. See that? Yeah. See, your machines get dirty. So we got to go in there. Oh, shoot. You better be spinning. Spin. Woo! Yeah, because that's a radiator system. That keeps my whatchamacallit cool, my CPU cool. That's how dirty it is in there. It took a while to switch it. It never had that issue. All right, we got to vacuum all this out. Everything in here. Let me see something for a minute. We ain't got no dirt in there. Yeah, because that's pushing up. That's bringing out. That's why. All right, we got to vacuum all that out. Everything's got to be cleaned out. Everything. We got maintenance to do tomorrow. All that's going to be vacuumed out. Everything's going to be cleaned out. So that means I got to take all those fans off one by one, vacuum everything out, vacuum all the fans out, vacuum out the liquid cool. The cool is good, but I got to the fans for the the video card's got to be vacuumed out. That's it. All right, people, got to go. Check you out later. Happy Friday. Safe. We didn't do it. No, okay.